Hey, it's John and Mike, brew-dudes.com, and we do have a SMaSH beer to taste. This is a SMaSH beer brewed with Belma hops, B-E-L-M-A hops, from Hops Direct. And the story of this hop, I think I'm on their email distribution list, and they had a special, or they called it out, and I ordered it, and I think it was one of these deals, if you ordered, you were going to get a special gift. So I ordered Belma hops, and the special gift was more Belma hops. So I have just a little less than a pound of Belma hops in my possession, and this is the first tryout of those hops. So we're going to talk about it. If you're new to this program and you don't know the sitch, what we do is we do a single malt and single hop beer in a very small batch. 1 U.S. gallon in the actual keg, but it starts off with 2 pounds of raw 2 row malts, and then 1 ounce of hops that I use as part of the process. This Belma hops at an alpha acid recorded on the label of the packet of 9.5% alpha acids. So I used I think I used like 3.5 grams at 60 minutes, and then another 3.5 grams at 15, 14 grams at flame out, and then another 7 grams at third day of fermentation. So a total of 28 grams, an ounce. Full ounce of Belma hops in this. The yeast I use is a US 05 dry yeast, and it's just, you open up the pack, you estimate 3 grams into a gallon fermenter and let it go at room temperatures, around 68 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, for 10 days. And so those hops, the dry hops, are in contact for 7, and I usually cold crash and then keg it, and that's what we got here. Did I leave anything out? That sounds fantastic. All right. So with all of that, I'm going to let Mike use all the perceptions he's learned by tasting fruit and writing that down. And we also have our hop chart here to help us on the old spider graph to understand where the old taste buds are leading us to. So,
well, in this example, I really have to dig in there to get to the aroma. I mean, there's definitely an aroma there. It's not as super intense. Maybe, more hop later in addition would amplify that, obviously. But the very first impression I got, just to use a generic term, I got like a little bit of spiciness, and there's definitely a little bit of like an earthiness there. And then maybe there's a little bit of like a piney, resiny thing going on there, but it's not on my nose. It's not really coming through deeper in terms of like that American piney citrusy thing. I'm not really getting citrus there. The flavor profile is more spice, maybe a hint of grapefruit pith in there, grapefruitiness, but it's not sweet. It's not fruity by any stretch of the imagination, it seems to me. Again, a little more of that woody potential character, earthy character. Overall, I think, the bitterness is a little bit lingering. It's on the roof of my mouth now. But it's pleasant, but it's not like a biting bitterness. It's just more of a resiny bitterness, I guess, is the great way to put it. The more I taste it, the more it just seems to be like a really good multi-purpose hop, I think, for giving you traditional hop character, but without a distinctive other flavor profile.
Yeah, I think this is like kind of an amplified noble hop presence, with more pointing more to earthy, spicy notes. Certainly, like, I think you're right, like that woody, earthy, spicy. I would even like in that order. I think in in the fruits. I think that if you're gonna note anything, that resiny feeling sticks with me.
Yep.
And so, yeah, I'm gonna say like citrus pith. But you're right, like pleasant. Like when I first tasted it out of the keg before I came over here, I said, "Oh, this is pretty good. Like, this is a good beer for for the format." Sometimes we have these SMaSH beers, and I'm kind of like, you can really tell this hop kind of stinks.
For me, like there's one hop that I really don't like is Northern Brewer, and so a certain style of beer that I never brew is California Common.
Yep.
Because I don't like that. It's like this, but a little bit more on the dirt, earthy side to me. At least that's the way it presents itself. Maybe I would
use this.
Make a California Common with this. Right?
Yep.
Really interesting. Really interesting. The more I sniff it, now it's warmed up a little bit. I mean, I might almost identify the spiciness as a little bit of like bay leaf in there. Maybe a little bit, because I have to try to put a word on it.
Yeah.
It just takes a while for those neurons. Those neurons are certainly not trying to fire when I drink a beer, right? To get like a bay leaf character.
No.
But it's in that vein. Yeah, it's great. Actually, so yeah, as a hop on its own, this would be a pretty interesting, maybe with a beer that had a little bit more malty backbone to it than just straight up SMaSH. I mean, this is very drinkable, but I think in a beer that had a little bit more malt character, a little bit more Munich-y, whatever, California Common, that thing, would a little bit of sweetness in there might like really work with this hop.
You said Northern Brewer. I believe BYO had an email that came out maybe a week or so ago. They had a link to a clone recipe for Long Trail's double bag, which is like a double alt.
Yeah.
And I think in that recipe called for Northern Brewer. So when you start thinking with something a little bit more malty background, maybe this is it.
Yeah, I can see that. You could use this as your bittering hop, maybe a mid-addition hop, but finish with a Tettnang or a Mittelfru in an alt beer and no one would miss a beat, right? So if you couldn't get a hold of, or you didn't want to use all that for bittering, what's the average alpha on this? Do you remember?
Yeah, well, this was 9.5.
Okay.
The range is 8.5 to 11.3.
Okay, so then in that application, a lot of the true noble hops that we buy, especially lately, have been so low in alpha character. You could bitter with this in your alt beer, right? And then use those character hops for and just trick the palate into going, oh, wow, this is amazing. It's all noble, right? That'd be great.
So, Hops Direct, so proud of announcing this. This is this is like the marketing material that came with it. Kind of this fun little origami type thing. I'll just unfold it. But they have on this card here, flavor profile: strawberry, citrus, melon, and ripe grapefruit.
I was looking for those.
Yeah,
but I didn't get it.
I didn't get it either.
I could maybe somehow pull like a lime leaf out of there. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that if it warmed up, maybe there's some berry.
I like your descriptors sort of being an alternative noble hop.
Yeah, like something like a little bit more amplified.
Yeah.
But little hop that could. And again, I think as we both put it, this is as a standalone hop, very pleasant. So the recipe that came with it, I think, is basically a pale ale type recipe. I was thinking of brewing it because it does call for 8 ounces of hops, I believe.
Yeah.
Might try that, or save it up
you
for
got plenty of it.
or save it up for like the double alt. I was thinking of that for the winter time. I haven't had that in a long time.
That would work. Yeah, that'd be
drinking back in the old late 90s. That one.
Yeah.
Anyway, Vermont. Long Trail Vermont beers. Now owned by Harpoon, right?
They're part of the Harpoon family now.
All right. So Belma Hops, try it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed. Certainly try to pull out some of those bigger fruity flavors. Maybe a lot more dry hopping, late hop additions will get you there. But I don't think this is something that, like, we have brewed SMaSH beers with other hop varieties where Mike's like, nope, I'm checked out of this one. So I don't think this is one we would check out. It's definitely worth more exploration. Try it early in the boil for more of a emphasized noble hop profile, and then experiment late in the brewing process for more fruit flavors. If you have had experience with Belma hops, please leave them in the comments below. Like this video if you like it. Subscribe to our channel because we do this kind of thing every single week. For John and Mike, brew-dudes.com. Brew on.
Cheers.